Guys, I'm back again with another video with Barney. Last session we did some bit pressure using side reins, and today I thought I would continue on with that lesson with some makeshift reins and continue to work on that pressure with him. So again, I'm still warming up the bit here. We've kept the mouthpiece with the lozenge in just to see how he goes in it. Obviously I don't want to put that cold metal bit into his mouth. All I've done here is clipped 2 lead ropes to each side of the bit rings and tied them together and make some makeshift reins. So I've just popped those over his head and I'm going to pop the bridle on. The reason that I do this as opposed to proper reins at this stage is, A, because I couldn't find them for this bridle, but B, it allows me to make them slightly longer using the 2 lead reins. So when I'm stood at his shoulders, I can still sort of reach around and put some pressure and sort of steer him on the other side. So he's a really good boy there, putting his bridle on. What I do like to do is carry a little lunge whip with me, not to hit him, but it does tap the side of my boot, or it'll sort of graze against his shoulder, just to get him to walk on alongside the voice commands that I'm continuing to use. But what I like to do, especially when they're a little bit nervy, is just sort of desensitize them to it. So as you see here, I'm going to pick that up and I'm just going to rub it along his body on both sides. He tenses up a little bit there. But I'm happy that he's sort of staying still and he's not trying to evade from that going across his body. And again, as always, I'll do it on both sides. Because we've done this with a lunge whip before, he's a bit better. But going back to what I said last session, he is still a bit wary of that side that I'm doing now. So we'll just spend some time doing that too. So what I'm going to start off with today is I'm just going to add a little bit of pressure to that rein. Once he gives, then the rein or lead rope, will go loose. And I'm just doing that while we're standing, so making him turn around before we do sort of go on to actually steering him and walking around with the sort of makeshift reins in our hands. So as you can see here, he is thinking about it, he's listening to me, his ears are pointed in my direction. As soon as he does turn, then he gets the release there and lots of scratches. And I'm just going to try that again, and then I'll move on to do the other side as always. genuinely happy with how that session went, where we sort of did that stationary. So what I'm going to do now is just pick up that crop, tap it against my boot, and we're going to start walking. I'll be by his shoulders, and I'll just sort of try and steer him and sort of make him go in circles and weave and so on and so forth, and we'll get him standing as well. He's a bit unsure, as would any, so I'm just trying to wave that dressage whip on the other side of him, obviously not touching him, and then there we are, off we are walking. And as I say, I like to do this before our long range just because I'm closer to them. I'm not going to be tangled in lunge lines if he does sort of panic, but he's doing really well. And as with everything, we do it on the other rein or the other side as well. I'll just keep sort of changing those throughout the session just to make it varied. He's obviously going to have one rein that's stronger than the other, so one side stronger than the other. So it's just about sort of working out how you sort of put enough time into both of them, I guess, and you'll get a feel depending on each horse. But I don't want to make this, an overly long session, a difficult session. Essentially what he's doing for me there is what I'm asking, so I'm happy with that, and it's something that we can build up on. Barney's only going to do a few more sessions until he goes on his little break, and then we'll re-pick up in the summer. So yeah, I'm not overly sort of worried about nailing it and perfecting it at the moment. It's essentially making sure he's happy and he's understanding what I'm asking, and that his happiness is the main thing, and that he's enjoying it as well. And I'm happy to leave that there for today. Still mouthing on the bit a bit. I'm trying to readjust the bridle as best I can. I did lower it down on the cheek pieces there a setting, but it was a bit too low and he ended up getting his tongue over the bit in this session. So I'm going to keep it as is for the time being and just see if we can maybe swap some parts out with other bridles that I've got, see if we can make one that works for him. As I say, he's only going to have one more session with that before his break. So thanks again for watching and I'll see you next time.